What's up, everybody? Dakota here, and I'm back with my number 2 push workout in my 4-on 1-off split. And as you can see, I am starting off with Incline Dumbbell Bench. Incline Dumbbell Bench is my definitely one of my favorite exercises in terms of just chest development. You gotta get that big cleft chest. Anyways, I do 5 sets of 8. And I like to really make sure to get that full contraction at the top, the slight pause to really focus on bringing that upper middle pec in and really engaging the pec as much as possible. And as you can see, I'm getting a deep stretch going almost all the way down to where the dumbbells hit my chest. And that brings us into the next exercise, which is decline dumbbell bench. And I like to acclimate in weight downwards, if that makes sense. Reverse acclimation. And I go for higher rep ranges each exercise usually when it comes to body part. So where the first one was 5 sets of 8, this one is 5 sets of 10. And as you can see with the dumbbells, I'm bringing them slightly closer together at the top of the movement, bringing it all the way down until it touches my chest, getting that full stretch but that full contraction at the top. And I'm making sure that my chest is popped up, my shoulders are rolled back. Yep, see I fixed myself right there. And I'm keeping my core tight, and I'm mainly trying to focus on both that stretch and maximizing that contraction at the top and really engaging the pec as much as I possibly can. And as you can see, that brings us to our next exercise, which is narrow chest press. There's a lot of different variations of this. Some of them are flat on the ground and you push up. Some of them are old school, some of them are new school. I mean, there's so many variations. Even hammer strength would work for this. But this particular machine is my personal favorite because A, it's plate loaded, and B, I just can get a crazy contraction. It mimics a dumbbell bench. So if you don't have any of those machines I mentioned, just hop into a dumbbell bench and do it very, concentrated with a maximizing the contraction at the top and really focusing on that pause and squeezing as much as possible. I just say scale back the weight and really try to just work on that inner middle pec and get that full contraction, as I just said a couple of times. And that brings us to our next exercise, which is cable flies. I personally love cable flies a lot more than either dumbbell flies or pec deck because I feel that my shoulders don't hurt as much afterwards. Being someone who's injured my shoulders in the past, this is very helpful because you don't need to follow a strict plane of motion. Your shoulders go wherever they're comfortable, down, up, sideways, and it allows it to be more natural movement. And as you can see, I'm getting that big stretch, trying to expand that pec, get the stretch as much as possible at the top, which is my biggest focus when it comes to flies. And there's getting a good contraction at the bottom, but I prefer to pause at the outermost part rather than the innermost part. As you can see, I'm being a little bit of a tool bag, showing that inner pec. Inner pec at work. Sorry about that, guys. But that brings us to our next exercise, and that is standing lateral raises, 5 sets pyramided. The reason that I do, 5 sets pyramided in terms of lateral raises is I feel that way too often with smaller muscle groups like arms and shoulders and stuff like that, we tend to just go easy on them, train them high volume and light. And I'm a big believer that in order to develop the body fully, at least in terms of my experience, you really have to hit things in different ways. Just like when you develop your back, you hit it from all angles to really develop it fully. I'm a big believer in developing both strength and size, and I think that they work hand in hand very well together. So that's why I pyramid up in weight to one heavier set. And the next exercise is leaning lateral raises. I also sometimes call these concentrated lateral raises. As you see in the video, I bring my shoulder back. I almost feel like I'm driving it behind me, if you will. And I'm pretending that, say that the dumbbell is a glass of water, and I'm pouring out the glass at the top of the movement. I'm getting that full stretch at the bottom, bringing it all the way to my side, and getting that full contraction. And I'm just trying to put blood and to really focus on tearing down that muscle that otherwise I feel is really hard to concentrate on with any other variation. And I really love that exercise. And that brings us into our last superset, which is exercise 7 and 8, and that is Tricep Machine Dips with a really big contraction and focus at the bottom, supersetted with wide upright rows. And the reason I do this is because I try not to have so much volume that it's unbearable. I try to be in and out of the gym in about an hour and a half, and supersetting these two together really helps me put in that tricep movement at the end of the lift that I really am trying to make sure to incorporate at the end of each push day as well, because they're a lagging body part, and get one more variation for that lateral delt that I otherwise wouldn't. And as you can see in this, I am keeping my chest up, my shoulders rolled back, and I have a wider grip. This will help you not recruit your traps as much and really recruit that lateral delt, which is the main reason that I'm doing this, especially on my push day. So hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions.
You know I want it, I need it, don't doubt it, I can't live without it. This is everything I've dreamed of, it's everything I've ever wanted. But is it really truly in my plans? Or did God mix up my blueprints?